lot of you probably haven't heard of us, but I hope to change that by speaking to you now. And what I'm going to be talking to you about is how to be a good media source. You might not know it, but editors are constantly looking for good sources. So if they have a real estate section in their magazine, or if they are a real estate publication, they almost always want to branch out from their database of usual experts. So I'm always looking for more top-notch, high-quality industry professionals who are well-respected in the industry, who other people know to look to for advice, to use in my own sources as my own sources for my own stories. So that's what I'm going to be talking to you today about, how to pitch outlets and how to make yourself known and get free press. Who likes free press? Raise your hand. You should all be raising your hand, just so you know. I can start a little bit. So why should you be a media source? It's free press. You don't have to pay for it. You are showing your knowledge, and you're getting published in a well-known magazine. Even if it's not well-known, you can promote yourself that way by just saying, look, I was interviewed for a real estate story in the newspaper or Atlanta magazine. So here are a few points. You know, being a media source will make you look more credible, even more credible than you already are. You're in the news. You're not just telling the consumer that you're good at your job. It's being printed by someone who isn't necessarily affiliated with you. Magazine editor, newspaper editors, they only want to talk to you for your expertise. According to NAR, 92% of consumers find their agent online. I'm sure you're all familiar with this statistic. So when people Google your name, if you're a media source, if you're quoted often in the media, or even just once, it should come up on Google, and that'll make you stand out from the competition even more. If they aren't referred an agent, consumers, 10% of first-time buyers and 9% of repeat buyers find their agent online. So again, that comes back to Google. The more often that you are online and promoting yourself and being quoted in the media, the more often you're going to come up on page 1 for real estate agent searches. So how do you establish yourself as a media source? You need to differentiate yourself from the competition. This is something that every agent is trying to work on constantly in their business anyways, how to make yourself unique, how to make yourself stand out from the crowd. So start with your expertise and ask yourself these questions to really focus on your niche. What is your core demographic? Who do you do business with the most? Are they first-time buyers? Are they Hispanic, the Hispanic home buyer group? Do they speak Spanish? Do they speak a different language, German, Polish community? Are they luxury buyers? What do people look to you for? What is your level of expertise? And what is the demographic of this home buyer group that you work with? What real estate services do your clients look for you from most? Or from you most? If they're luxury buyers, do they often need help getting a jumbo loan? Do you have the connections or the affiliates to help these home buyers with that, with whatever they need? Whether it be a jumbo loan, whether it be first-time buyers, totally new to the business, you can help them with all the steps they need. What do they look to you for? Why are they picking you as their agent? This might be a good thing to ask the consumers that do pick you as your agent to help you narrow down your demographic. What advantages do you have over your competitors? Again, this goes right back to who's looking to you for business, why are people choosing you as their agent? What are your thoughts about the most important issues in your market? Are you out there? Do you know the market, really know the market? Are you an expert in your field? Every consumer wants the best of the best. They want an expert in the field. How are you showing that you are an expert? What are your values? Are you active in the community? If a consumer Googled your name, would you come up for charity events or, oh, Tech Edge. Would they come to you for, or would they see you in the newspaper at charity events, active in the community, active on the boards of local community boards? What would they see if they searched your name on Google? So once you ask yourself those questions, you hopefully have narrowed down your niche, and this is what makes you unique and how you stand out from others. So once you do your job and do your job well, make sure others know about your success. It's up to you to promote yourself, just as you market your listings. The more people who see your face, the more they'll remember you. This goes for the media as well. Don't be afraid to stand out. So as an editor, and especially an editor of a mainstream publication magazine, they only know what they see. If you are on benches, if you've got ads on benches, on the bus, in the newspaper, online, on websites, on consumer websites, they're going to start seeing your face and they're going to think, huh, that person is probably an expert in real estate. I'm seeing his or her face everywhere. So you really have to stand out to everyone, not just home buyers, but editors are constantly looking to who is the expert in what field. So how do you get in front of the media? You have to be straightforward. Now, a lot of you probably have thought about pitching ideas, or maybe you have pitched ideas, but you need to start from the very beginning. Figure out what media outlet you want to be published in. Go right to the beginning and research that media outlet. It might be a real estate specific publication like Atlanta Agent Magazine, which might be a little bit easier. If it's a consumer publication like Atlanta Magazine, you're probably going to have to figure out how often they publish real estate articles, what type, and what type of information they're looking for. A good way to figure out what they're looking for is a lot of times, and on Atlanta Agent Magazine this is true as well, we have our editorial calendar online. You can look there for the rest of the issues of the year, possibly even first half of the next year. Magazines plan way ahead, so you can know what they're working on just by looking online. So make sure you do your own homework, not only researching what they're looking for, but what's coming up and if you have anything that fits with any of their upcoming issues. It makes it a lot easier for an editor. So write a good pitch. Tell the outlet who you are, because chances are they probably don't know you unless they're seeing your face constantly. And not only that you're an expert, but how you're an expert. Demonstrate your value. I can't tell you how many pitches I get that just say, I'm available for comment in your stories. Great, why should I ask you? Or I made this much in sales volume, I'm available for comment. Or I'm a top producer, I'm available for comment. Great, there are so many top producers in Atlanta. I can pick from 100, but why should I pick you to comment on your story? Why should I care is really what you should focus on with any pitch letter. Why should the editor care? Why should they care enough to reach out to you to be a source? Demonstrate your knowledge, demonstrate your value. Tell me how you're an expert in whatever article idea you're pitching. And then I will respond. Create talking points. So in your pitch letter, demonstrate your value by creating bullet points, make it easy for the person, and make it short and sweet about why you are the right person that they should interview for this article. Whether it's something coming up on their editorial calendar, it's a completely new pitch about what's going on in the market. Expand your focus to smaller features and segments. Atlanta Agent Magazine has an editorial calendar. We have monthly digital issues, but we also have several other weekly features that I am always looking for new people to interview for. We have a Viewpoints feature. It's an interview with a top managing broker or top producer about the top 3 issues going on in the market that week. We take a look at our website, we figure out what stories are getting the most clicks, we look at the local news, and from there we pick 3 issues and ask someone about them. It's a quick Q&A, and that's something so easy, takes about 10 minutes of an agent's time, and when a consumer Googles your name, that Viewpoints article is going to come up on page 1. And a consumer might say, Viewpoints, that sounds important. It looks like they're an expert on what's going on in the market. And it ultimately helps your business. We also have Agent Snapshot, that's more of a fun feature, more personal and professional questions, but it's a quick, easy form that you can fill out on our website. There's something called the shortlist, which is more of an improving your business advice for other agents. But again, it shows that you know what you're doing and you're an expert in your field and in your niche. So we look for the shortlist, under 10 bullet points or numbers of tips of how to do something, whether it be communicating more efficiently with clients, communicating more efficiently with agents, which some people struggle with, and how to close a deal under 2 weeks if that's possible. Short list, it's easy for the consumer to read, and when they Google that, that is going to come up on page 1. So look around, establish, figure out what else besides the editorial calendar. If there's nothing that really fits your niche or what you can talk about, see if there's something else, another small feature that the magazine can do that you can pitch to. Hire a PR or marketing person to write a good pitch email for you. This is a good investment. PR marketing person knows how to write a good pitch letter. They know how to hone in, and they know what will get an editor's attention. Good thing I have this memorized. PR marketing person, it's their job to place you in the media. So they are going to be good at writing pitch letters. They're going to research the media outlet for you. They're going to write a letter to the editor that will make him or her get his attention and make him or her know that you are an expert source for whatever. Okay, that's good. Thank you. For whatever article you're fit for. It's their job so that you can focus on your job of selling homes and being good in real estate. Advertorials count. These are paid for, but they're printed in the publication. A lot of publications do this, and they come up in Google searches. So some people, there are some mixed feelings about advertorial, but the bottom line is consumers don't know that they're paid for. They search your name in Google, it's going to come up on the website. In Chicago, we have an advertorial issue called the Who's Who issue, and it's incredibly popular because when people search their name, it is always on page 1. It's never buried. It's always on page 1. It's a professionally photographed, professionally written bio. It looks like they're the top of their game, and they often are, but it comes up on page 1. So in addition to their listings, in addition to their brokerage website or their personal agent website, their personal blog, this advertorial comes up for Chicago Agent Magazine. And that makes them think, oh, well, this must be a really top-notch agent because they're in the who's who of Chicago Agent Magazine. So we just launched in Atlanta in January, but we are looking to bring that to Atlanta Agent Magazine as well. But they do count because all that matters is you're landing on page 1 and that consumers can find you and hire you. Write letters to the editor. Voice your opinion and send an email to the editor. This is very easy. Even something that is 2 sentences long, if it's a letter to me that says, I love that story and here's why, I'll print that, and that will also come up. It makes you look like you're more of an expert, you're more in tune with what's going on in the industry, you're following the trends, you're reading the news. This will take 5 minutes of your time, and it's something that can also make you look like an expert. And go to events where the media attend and get caught on camera. So many magazines have the scene section or something where there's just tons of event photos, and those will come up on Google as well. There are tons of real estate networking events, real estate events in general, brokers opens, charity events. What can you be at where the photographer is at, and just get your photograph taken. That'll be up on a website. That'll also be up on page 1 of Google. It's all about, no, there we go. I talk too much. It's all about getting seen on page 1 and differentiating yourself for consumers. Oh, what did you learn besides that this goes to sleep a lot and I need Ben to come up here and put his password in for me? Don't be afraid to reach out to the media. It's all about writing a good pitch letter. And if you get rejected, we've all been rejected. I was rejected from cheerleading, the cool crowd in high school. It's part of life, and that doesn't mean that they're never going to respond to your email again. It just means that they're probably too busy to respond, or they might respond and say, I'm not interested. If they don't respond, they're not interested. But just keep reading the publication, keep figuring out where you can fit in, and keep pitching. There's no harm in pitching. just annoying the editor, maybe stagger it a little bit. But have your pitch ready along with how and why you're an expert. Make sure you demonstrate your value to the editor. Look for other features you could really participate in. That's huge. If there's something that's not on the editorial calendar that you can fit in and get published in, something easy like a Q&A feature like our viewpoints feature or a shortlist feature. Anything you can contribute. Maybe you can contribute a column. We accept columns as well, just from agents about how agents can do their business better and how they can do better at marketing, any category. See what you can contribute and demonstrate why you're an expert. Don't be let down if you get rejected. I already went over that. Palms, cheerleading. I'm still hurt, but you shouldn't be. It's part of life. It's part of life. So, any questions? Yes. Yes. I mean, only if you're asking, because then they'll know that you get it. They won't always know it because I'm the editor. I don't know anything about the advertising. That's a whole separate department. But if you subscribe at least to the email newsletters, you'll at least know what they're publishing, and you'll know a little bit more about what they're looking for. Maybe they always have stories in a certain vein. They always do. They always report the CoreLogic trends and the report statistics. And I know that Atlanta Agent Magazine, we're always looking for local sources who can comment on stories at the last minute. So if you know what they sort of report on, you can always email. In fact, you can email me and say, I am available to comment on this, this, and this, and here's why. Demonstrate your value, and they'll probably appreciate that. So at least do it just to know what they're writing. Yeah. Anything else? Don't be shy. I don't feel rejected anymore. Yeah. So the question is, do you need to advertise? No, you don't. You don't. If you already are an advertiser, then, well, honestly, our advertising department will probably mention it to me, especially if you're already in contact. If you're already an advertiser, chances are you'd ask them, who do I contact? And then most likely the advertising department would say, hey, this advertiser would like to be featured in editorial anywhere we can fit them in, or they have a good pitch, you should listen to it. But you don't need to be an advertiser, no. Yes, absolutely. I mean, if there's something specific that person wants to, that you, for example, would want to pitch, or if it's just in general. I mean, either way, just the introduction is huge, and then the editor would take it from there, whether that's sooner or later, depending on the editorial calendar and the features. Does that answer your question? I hope it does. Okay, all right. Anyone else? I think my time's about up anyways. So, all right. Any questions that you guys have? Please feel free to find me at the break. I'd love to talk to you more about Atlanta Agent Magazine and ways that we can involve you in our publication. So thank you very much.